Laurie, thanks for joining us. Almost a year to the day now since you joined us here at Sussex. How's it been?
Yeah, well, it's been lovely. You know, the club welcomed me in with open arms, and you know, I'm starting to feel really at home here. And you know, obviously, it goes without saying it's a great place to live. You know, and it made a lot of sense at the time, and I've they still make sense to me of all the reasons why I moved. And you know, it was a tough first year for the club and myself. You know, but hopefully going forward, you know, there's a lot of things to look forward to.
You mentioned obviously a nice place to live. How have you found life on the south coast outside of cricket? That's been pleasant.
No, it's lovely. Unfortunately, like I got to sample it in the middle of the summer with 2 months out injured. You know, which was frustrating. But I did, like you say, sample everything it had to offer down here, and it was great. I mean, you know. The fans, the people, they make you feel very welcome. You know, it very much is that sort of family feel that everyone sort of always spoke about as the club. And you know, they're a great bunch of guys. You know, really, you know, I can honestly say that. You know, there are some people where I can see myself, you know, being friends for life with. So it's been a great move.
Looking back on the season itself, top scorer in the Royal London One Day Cup for Sussex, including that 134 not out against Kent, which is a hell of an innings. Pretty decent T20 campaign personally, but some limited opportunities in 4-day cricket. Was that a source of frustration?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I probably, you know, didn't make things, you know, easy for myself at the start. You know, I sort of was desperate to do well at a new club, and you know, and actually looking back, I wasn't particularly playing that well. So you know, if you couple those things together, along with the early season conditions, it was a tough start. But unfortunately, I got injured just at the back end of the 50-over competition, and I felt like I was starting to play my best, and I was really looking forward to getting back into that 4-day competition. You know, just that block before the T20s. Unfortunately, you know, the injury and put me out for a long time, and it was good to see, you know, guys, you know, start winning some games. You know, people start putting in some good performances after we started poorly. But yeah, personally, I was just really frustrated, and you know, it was probably one of the main reasons for moving was not playing as much 4-day cricket as I should have done at Warwickshire. And you know, it's still very much one of my main focuses moving forward.
And looking ahead to next year, obviously the big news is a new head coach in Jason Gillespie. What's your reaction to that?
Yeah, no, I mean, I was shocked, surprised, obviously delighted. You know, Diz is a high quality coach, international, you know, around the world. I suppose, being at Warwickshire, we played against Yorkshire quite a lot in 1-day competitions and in 4-day cricket, and you know, fortunately I've played quite well against them. So hopefully he's seen me at my best. But I think most of all, I think he comes with sort of, you know, hopefully some real fun into our cricket, and you know, hopefully we can start to, you know, get the balance right between, you know, being relaxed and allowing ourselves to play to our best, you know, whilst enjoying it, but also being disciplined, you know, on and off the field, and pushing each other to try and get better and take this club forward.
And Jason arrives in the early spring, so obviously at the moment there's no head coach here at the ground. How do things work over the winter with that situation?
Yeah, well, you know, I think Sussex have sent a lot of players away, a lot of their young players, you know, which is great for those guys to go and experience cricket, you know, elsewhere, and it speaks volumes that then, you know, we've got coaches being taken away as well with England. We've got players away with England. We've got players in T20 tournaments around the world. You know, we've got some real talent here at Sussex, and we've probably underperformed, you know, certainly last year and probably before I arrived. So, you know, looking forward, things are looking good. In terms of the winter, we sort of keep ourselves as fit and healthy as we can. You know, looking for areas we can improve in and push each other. Like I say, I think it's most importantly, you know, good teams sort of help each other along the way and make each other try and, and test each other and push each other forward. So, I think as much as, a great coach like Dizzy is, he'll be, looking for us to help each other as well.
So there's an element of taking responsibility for your own fitness, your own training during this period before it becomes more structured in the new year?
Yeah, absolutely, and obviously Mike Yardy's still here, Connor's still here as the S&C, Paul's still here as the physio, so we've still got, it's not like we've got no one here, we've still got a very good structure and we've got a good working week at the moment. I think there's a nice balance between player-led and the coaches doing what they want us to do, but I think there was a big, from looking from outside inwards, Sussex always looked as quite a serious club, and they very, very detailed, very strict. But I think what we've started to see now is we want to give players a bit more freedom to take control and trust them to and hopefully that way you find out which players are going to push themselves and take care of their own games, and I think that's it's only going to hopefully create high quality cricketers in the future.
And you talk about the perception from outside of Sussex, and think of it as a club. Your career previously was at 2 Test match grounds in Surrey with the Oval and Warwickshire and Edgbaston. Are there big differences between playing at Test match grounds, Test match ground clubs, and at a smaller county like Sussex?
I suppose there are a few differences in terms of you sort of, when you're at a Test match ground and a big club, you feel that sort of pressure and that expectation to perform. Sometimes that can bring the best out of you, and sometimes it can get on top of you. So I think there are big differences, but at the same time we're playing the same game, and outside away from the business side of things, I think they're pretty similar.
And then finally, 2018 season, any specific goals for yourself?
Well, I think, look, I want to perform in all forms of cricket, and take this team forward as much as I can, along with the other guys. There's a real sort of hunger from the lads, and I think with the couple of changes in personnel, hopefully we can start to build something that's hopefully pretty special over the next few years. And I think myself and a few of the other guys who are a little bit older, this is if you're not trying to win trophies, if you don't end up winning trophies, then you sort of probably look back and be quite disappointed. So I think that's our main goal, really, is sort of try and strive for silverware, and if not, hopefully with showing signs of going in that right direction.
Lovely. Well, thanks for your time, Laurie, and wish you all the best for next season.
Thank you.